All right, two things before I start this video. Yes, I'm going to be wearing a towel over my head the entire video because I just left the gym and I got out of the sauna and I'm sweating, bro. Like, y'all can see my skin glistening or whatever. That's because I got out of the gym, I hit a little sauna session, and I recovered. And also, in this video, I'm going to be speaking on the deceased. And one thing about me, I don't like speaking on the deceased because I don't like speaking on the dead, because I believe when you're out of this planet, when you're out of this world, you should be spoken to with respect and dignity. You know, this person may be deceased, but I'm not going to go out of my way to disrespect this person or say this, and that. In this video, I'm being purely objective. I'm going by the facts and I'm giving my opinion, but I don't be trying to disrespect the dead because that's bad energy, that's bad karma, and I wasn't raised that way to disrespect the dead. But now I'm going to get into this video topic. You know, it's your boy Trevy Trev, back with another video. Not going to be too excited about this video, not going to do too much in this video because honestly, this is a sad, tough topic to cover. And I felt it needed to be covered because I'm a young dude and I can give a certain perspective on this and kind of just hopefully shine some light on this situation, because a lot of people got their opinions, but I have a really interesting opinion when it comes to this circumstance, because I'm going to be talking about the Kyren Lacy situation. If you guys don't know Kyren Lacy, he was a LSU wide receiver who was going to go to the NFL, but unfortunately he committed the sue and he was days away from going to trial for, I think it was like a manslaughter case, because he was driving in his fast sports car and he ended up killing a 78-year-old Marine, I believe. And it was just a sad situation altogether. But, you know, I researched more into this topic because I was watching the Coach JB show the other day. If you guys don't know Coach JB, he's from Last Chance U. He's one of the coaches that was featured in the show. And he has a podcast that I've been watching for years now. And he was talking about the situation. And it had me thinking, bro, because I have a very logical mind, right? I have a very logical mind. And when I heard about this situation, I kind of found myself agreeing with Coach JB, because a lot of people, they don't face consequences for their actions. And then when they run away from responsibility, they get praised as heroes by our society. And when you really look up this case, when you really look up this situation, you see that bro was no saint, bro. He was not like a saint or whatever. And granted, he's away from this world and we don't know what demons he was going through, but how people portray this situation in the media, they act like it was a sad mental health case when it was, in fact, dude kind of gave off vibes, and I don't know dude personally, but from what I saw, he gave off vibes of a degenerate, bro. He gave off vibes of a degenerate. You know, he was acting like a YN on the football field. He didn't even check on the Marine that he ran over and manslaughtered and driving fast in his vehicle recklessly, and he didn't show any sympathy or remorse. Granted, he may have been a good person and a great football player, but in this situation, he shouldn't be painted. He should be painted more in a gray light, bro, because we don't know this dude personally. And JB touched on that, and I kind of agree, because a lot of times in life, we overshadow the talent more than the character of a person, bro. And I hate when the media, they portray things in a one-sided way when things are more nauseated and, you know, there's more to it than that. And when I was reading more into this case, I was getting mad because I know a lot of dudes like this who are very talented, right? But they ended up paying the consequences for their action and going to jail and facing things like a man. And this dude, right? Granted, he's deceased and we don't know what happened to him, but it seems like he kind of took the easy way out by committing the sue, because, you know, he looked like he was not about to beat this case. Granted, he could have went to the NFL and things could have happened, but he looked like he was not going to beat this case, and he got into an incident before his case, and it was looking bleak for him. So this was an easy way out. And I don't like easy ways out in life, because sometimes as a man, you should always face your consequences. No matter how high up or how low you are, you should always face your consequences. That's my personal opinion. But this situation is crazy, because I'm like, damn, bro, we're still not learning as athletes. We're still not learning as young people that there's consequences for our actions. I say this all the time, but athletes, look at the Henry Ruggs case. Look at how he threw his life away and got people murdered doing speeding and all that stuff. Look at that case. How could you, after seeing that case and seeing this man go to jail, how could you ever be reckless driving your fast sports car when you're getting all this money and doing all these things? How could you ever do this after this case and the Henry Ruggs case? Because it's just irresponsible at this point. It's irresponsible on you as the individual. It's irresponsible as your coaching staff, and it's irresponsible for your mentors to not tell you to do better. And I feel less and less sympathy for people that are rich and they do things like this, because they take away lives, and the lives that they took are never discussed. Only the person is discussed who took the life. And it's like, it's a sad situation, but it's like I'm feeling less and less sympathy for cases like this. And I wanted to touch on this because, you know, I feel like we should all, as a society, take a look at our youth and how we're doing and their mental health and what we give them in life. Because JB, he made a great point in his podcast, but we're giving these kids, we're giving them the keys to the mansion before they've owned an apartment. Like, we're giving them the golden ticket before they've known the value of the golden ticket. Like, and it's having this consequence, it's having this entitlement, and it's leading to things like this where this young dude took his life, unfortunately. And I think we as a society, we got to get back to having characters, morals, and integrities. And granted, this is a sad situation, and there's going to be another case like this, and I don't like speaking on the dead, but we got to take a real, like, look at ourselves and self-reflect. Because even me as a young dude, like, if I have a son and he is afforded the opportunity to play Division I, I'm going to tell him, like, bro, there's people working 9 to 5s. There's people not getting it as easy as you got. And you got to take advantage of this in a positive way and use your platform to become better. Don't just be some degenerate racing in the street just because you can. You know, there's more to life, and, you know, you got to learn how to balance that and not be a fucking idiot. But granted, this is a sad case, and, you know, hopefully everything goes good for the family of the person. And it hit close to home because I'm in the military now, and I know the sacrifices that the older generation took so that there's no wars now. So, you know, when I see any soldier or any person in the armed forces deceased, I get mad. But I also understand the perspective of a younger person, because I am young myself. And it's like a really sad situation, but I hope things get better. But anyway, I wanted to give my opinion on this. Hopefully I wasn't rambling too much. Hopefully I showed respect and nuance to the situation, because it is sad. But I wanted to cover this and hopefully tell you guys, you know, be positive. Don't do this DUI stuff, because, you know, you can end up killing someone and ruining not just their life, but your life as well. So I wanted to cover this topic. Hopefully you guys like, comment, and subscribe. And I'm out. You know, hopefully things get better. I'm praying for the situation to get better, because it is a sad situation and you never want to see shit like this happen. But y'all take care and y'all stay blessed.